Hello, I'm Sravan. I'm a lecturer here in aviation at Griffith University, and as a part of my role, I'm also the first year coordinator. And I would like to welcome you to the Aviation Flight Procedures Lab. Come on in. So this here is a flight procedures lab which we are currently upgrading to a newer room which is going to be in the new building, which is N79. So this is in the older flight procedure lab, and we use this lab for several different courses. So I'll give you some examples of how we use this lab. What you see here is a VFR circuit. VFR circuit is one of the first things you learn when you're learning to fly. So it's basically where you are on the runway, you take off, you go around basically in a circuit, come back and land. This is something that student pilots do quite a lot when they're learning to fly, and this is one of the procedures that you'll actually learn to fly here and learn exactly what the VFR circuit is all about. You'll see that there's when to release brakes, apply full power, and then when to turn onto what's called crosswind, downwind, base, and then final. And you'll also learn what all those concepts and topics mean. So follow me and I'll take you across to another area. So in this lab we've got 25 computers, and in the new lab that we are currently getting ready, we'll have more computers along with newer technology also. So we talked about learning to fly and looking at VFR circuits. Another thing that we do teach in this flight procedures lab is looking at the scan flow. So you'll see all these photographs down here. They are basically called scan parts or scan flows. First, they'll actually teach you what each and every instrument in the cockpit is, so that you know exactly where the airspeed indicator is. You'll also know where the radio stack is, where the throttle is, and things like that. After that, we'll actually teach you how to look at all the different instruments based on the phase of flight. So if you're in a takeoff run or a takeoff roll, then you'll actually learn how to scan the instruments for that appropriate maneuver. And if you're coming in to land, you'll also learn which instruments are the important ones to look at when you're coming to land. So apart from that, there's a whole heap of other important instruments you'll have to look at also, depending on the phase of flight. And another thing that we do teach out here is we actually look at the checklist. So all pilots need to follow checklists. So you'll see here, we are now within the software. So I got my controls with me. This is the yoke, this is my throttle quadrant, and if you can see on the floor, my feet are on the rudder pedals, so left and right pedals. So to turn it on, we actually have to go through a checklist. This here is not the actual real checklist, but it is very close to the real thing, and this is what we use in order to get this Cessna 172 started, so that we can then taxi onto the runway and then take off. So apart from that, we also have checklists for landing, any emergencies, and etc. All of them are in here. This checklist is very closely related to the real aircraft, and it has been slightly modified for a simulator environment. So the whole point of this lab is to learn the procedures on how various things are performed within the aircraft. All that will help you get industry ready. You'll actually have the opportunity to fly many different types of aircraft, depending on your choice and interest, of course.